Well, what would that be worth? And so as those capital pools turn and start to add Bitcoin, all of a sudden that total addressable market grows, and then therefore a finite asset, more supply, or more demand coming in, obviously the price goes up. And so I think that Bitcoin eventually at some point in the future will be worth over $1 million a coin. The question is just how quickly will it get there?
$1 million a coin.
Bitcoin has emerged as a dominant force in global financial markets. Its performance continues to outpace traditional assets as monetary policies shift worldwide. This unprecedented growth has caught the attention of investors at all levels.
Bitcoin is the best performing asset so far. Gold and oil futures are kind of second. There's a new study that just came out from Lynn Alden and Sam Galligan that said Bitcoin is the most sensitive asset when it comes to global liquidity. And so 83% of the time, Bitcoin moves with global liquidity. It's more than S&P or any other asset. And so if you look at not just the interest rate cuts, now M2 money supply is expanding, and also we have cuts going on in China and elsewhere.
The entry of major financial institutions has transformed Bitcoin's market dynamics. Traditional finance is rapidly embracing cryptocurrency, creating new pathways for investment. This shift represents a fundamental change in how Wall Street views digital assets.
Yeah, and Bitcoin is very unique in that it's one of the only assets I'm aware of that as the price goes higher, it becomes less risky. Right? If you go back and you look at it when Bitcoin was at $1,000, there was plenty of these large capital pools that said, this thing's new, this thing is too small. I need to put tens of billions of dollars into an investment. I can't do it with this. It's too risky. Now, as Bitcoin has gotten bigger and has gotten to $2 trillion market cap, now all of a sudden everyone's like, wait a second. I can put money in it. It's de-risked.
The political landscape for cryptocurrency has evolved dramatically. Support from high-level government officials has provided newfound legitimacy to the asset class. This institutional backing has created a more favorable environment for adoption.
What's the promise of Trump as far as Bitcoin and digital assets that's making everyone so bullish right now?
Well, I think Trump's just the first Bitcoin president, right? To come out and explicitly say, hey, I like Bitcoin, I own Bitcoin, I'm going to protect Bitcoin, I'm going to protect your right to hold Bitcoin. I think 2025 will continue to be a great year for Bitcoin. And mainly it's two things, right? One, you're going to continue to get printing of money, both in the United States and globally.
The maturation of Bitcoin as an asset class has brought significant changes to its market behavior. Its evolving characteristics are attracting a new class of investors. The reduced volatility signals a new phase in Bitcoin's development.
Bitcoin is becoming a more decentralized ownership base. There's kind of different players that are coming into the market. You can see over the last 10 years that volatility has been coming down. And you shouldn't expect a $2 trillion asset to operate with the same volatility as a $2 billion asset.
Bitcoin's finite supply creates a unique dynamic in the market that sets it apart from traditional assets. Its scarcity becomes more significant as institutional adoption increases. The fundamental economics of Bitcoin's supply cap drives its value proposition.
And so as the price continues to go higher, more of these large pools of capital will come in. As large pools of capital come in to buy a finite supply asset, the price should continue to go up. And so you have this kind of reflexive element to it that is just usually not available. Because in a company, if a company saw this much demand coming in, they would just issue more shares.
The previous bull market demonstrated the power of retail investors in driving Bitcoin's price. This historical perspective provides context for the current market dynamics. The addition of institutional capital to existing retail demand creates unprecedented potential.
What actually seems crazier to me in hindsight is that we got to 67K the last cycle without BlackRock, without ETFs, without institutional money. It was all retail. So to me, that's the most bullish sort of thing looking forward.
Bitcoin's adoption pattern has defied traditional technology deployment models. The grassroots nature of its growth suggests significant future potential. This unique adoption curve indicates strong fundamental demand.
If you think that Bitcoin is the first technology that I'm aware of that has reached kind of global mass adoption that started from the bottom and went up. Most technologies start with militaries and nation states, they then go to companies, and then only at the end are individuals. So you can think of computers, there was big mainframe computers, then eventually everyone got a kind of computer on their desk.
Bitcoin's spread throughout the financial world follows a viral pattern of adoption. Its compelling nature creates a self-reinforcing cycle of awareness and acceptance. This psychological aspect of Bitcoin's growth drives its expanding influence.
And the idea is that Bitcoin is a mental virus. It's a mind virus, right? Once you learn about Bitcoin, you begin to see it in a certain way. You can't stop thinking about it. You begin talking about it. Word of mouth spread.
Companies are discovering innovative ways to leverage Bitcoin for growth. The integration of Bitcoin into corporate balance sheets represents a new frontier in financial management. This strategic approach is creating new opportunities for investors and businesses alike.
And I do think that there is going to be a huge opportunity in 2025 for what I call Bitcoin or crypto-related public equities. So these are companies that operate in the space, but they're also putting these assets on the balance sheet. And really, this is just like a real estate company, right? Real estate companies put real estate on the balance sheet. As that value goes up, obviously the balance sheet grows.
The behavior of long-term Bitcoin holders provides crucial insight into market dynamics. Despite reaching new price milestones, the majority of Bitcoin investors maintain strong conviction. This pattern of holding through market cycles demonstrates the growing maturity of the asset class.
Yeah, so what's interesting is in bull markets, if you look on chain, basically, you go through a bear market, everyone buys up Bitcoin, they hold on real tight, they don't move it for a year or two. And then as you get into a bull market, price goes up and there's kind of a clearing. People start to sell their Bitcoin into that bull market. We have started to see a little bit of selling of Bitcoin as we kind of broke over $60,000 earlier this year. But still more than 50% of all Bitcoin is being held, for over a year and not moving on chain, which I think is probably the best signal.
Global monetary policy continues to play a crucial role in Bitcoin's price trajectory. The relationship between Bitcoin and global liquidity has become increasingly clear. This correlation suggests that the current economic environment could be particularly favorable for Bitcoin's growth.
And so I think that Bitcoin ends up being a big winner whenever we get kind of cheap money flooding into the system. And it feels like we just went through this big regime change, right? We were tightening. Everyone was trying to kind of drain liquidity from the system. Now we're going to go the other way. And so Bitcoin should be a big winner here for the next couple of months.
Pompliano's bold prediction of Bitcoin reaching $1 million represents a culmination of multiple powerful trends: the influx of institutional capital, growing government support, decreasing volatility, the natural scarcity of Bitcoin supply, unprecedented retail participation, bottom-up adoption patterns, viral spreading of awareness, and innovative corporate strategies. As traditional finance continues to embrace cryptocurrency and global monetary policies evolve, Bitcoin's position in the financial system appears increasingly central. The convergence of these factors, combined with Bitcoin's unique characteristics and growing institutional acceptance, creates a compelling case for its continued growth and potential to reach new heights. What do you think about Bitcoin's potential to reach $1 million? Share your thoughts in the comments below.